Hi
Okay.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead, Kishore. Sorry.
Hi everyone. Thanks for joining today's Salesforce Einstein Analytics online training demo session from 𝗬𝒂𝒔𝒆. Our trainer is Avinash. He will be take over for today's demo. Yeah. Avinash, okay, you can share your screen and start.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So let me share my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible to you all.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you for confirming, and I hope my voice is also audible. No issues.
Yes, Avinash.
Amazing. So let's start. So Salesforce CRM-Analytics, which was formerly known as Salesforce Einstein Analytics. Before we start the session, just wanted to get a brief idea. Has anyone heard about this term? Like, is anyone aware of this tool? Even if in a very basic sense, maybe you can just unmute and speak in case you know a little bit about Salesforce Einstein Analytics, or currently we call it as Salesforce CRM-Analytics.
Yes, it is an analytical tool.
Avinash, sorry to interrupt. Getting lot of echo in the background. Is it same for everyone? Can anyone confirm? Avinash, okay, can you please unmute?
Yeah, actually, I don't hear any background noise. Anybody else can
Like
confirm?
fan or something in the room.
Yeah, some kind of
Oh,
windy
okay.
thing.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. I think it's from my end. Give me a minute. Okay. How about now? Everything is fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Yeah. I think somebody was saying something. Who was that?
I think Einstein analytic is kind of, means
Mm.
having some predefined module or concepts which will help to improve the analytics more, optimize it. So
Okay. Cool. Anybody here who has heard about Salesforce? Does anybody know what Salesforce is? Has anybody worked on Salesforce?
yeah, myself work Salesforce Marketing Cloud is an or Salesforce is an CRM basically. So it is used to properly keep all the data of the client in sales, service, marketing cloud, and as per that we can precisely handle our contacts and trigger any requirement to them in
Okay.
easy manner.
Amazing. Anybody else? Anybody here who doesn't know Salesforce at all? Anybody's here who hasn't heard about Salesforce at all and is completely new to this term Salesforce? Please unmute and speak up in case you are.
Yeah, so I haven't worked in Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any experience working with that, but still interested in understanding how it's helped my career.
Okay, thank you, Venkatesh. Anybody else?
Meaning, like, I feel like not all Salesforce bought Tableau and they integrated with Salesforce and they made it Einstein Analytics.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, have you heard about Salesforce, right? Like, you are not completely
Yeah,
new. What I
it's
was
a
asking,
CRM tool.
is here who is completely new to Salesforce, like doesn't know what Salesforce is? Anybody's here? Just unmute and speak up. Okay, so nobody unmuted, so I presume that you all are aware at least of what Salesforce is. Okay, so we will make it a two-way interaction. Fine, for this demo session. Let's start this demo session. Thank you for participating. So basically, this is the topic which we are going to cover: Salesforce CRM Analytics. Formerly it was known as Salesforce Einstein Analytics. Okay. So what is data analytics? Can anybody just unmute and speak up? Anyone from here? It's a very basic thing, data analytics.
To monitor the
So
data.
Yeah, please go ahead.
To monitor the data means how means the if a particular 100 contacts are there, so how many contacts received or how many contacts have a email bounce back, how many are means hard bounce, out bounce, send, deliver. So that analytics we can get it through data analytics.
Okay, anybody else?
So it's a process of manipulating data. So we can use data in various formats, maybe in creating of reports, understanding the scenarios. This could help us to take decisions. So I think so. That's it.
Yeah, who was that? Who just now spoke?
Yes,
Ven-
Venkatesh.
Venkatesh. Okay, yeah, Venkatesh, you are right. And who was the earlier one? There was
Rohan.
Luhan. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, both of you mentioned correctly. Fine. It's used to analyze the data. Fine. And of course, we can further do the work around.
Also, can we create insights, calculations and insights for any
Yeah.
engagement data?
Yeah, it is like the advanced concept of data analytics, and you are right. We can also, uh, have some deep insight into it. Okay. Just tell your name once, because since I'm on the presentation mode, just tell your name and answer. So who was it who answered?
Yeah, this is Gopi Reddy.
Gopi. Okay. Yeah, because I'm in the presentation mode, I won't be able to see your name. Just tell your name before answering. Okay. But yeah, combining everybody who has said, you all are correct. So it's the science of analyzing raw data to make conclusions about information. Data is the process of analyzing raw data to find trends and answer questions. A successful data analytics initiative can help answer business questions related to historical trends, future prediction, and decision making. Okay. So yeah, every one of you answered correctly. This is the basic thing about data analytics. Okay. So why it is important? Can anybody answer? Please tell your name before answering. Okay.
To become more
This is
and more
Gopi this
relevant.
side. We can
Sorry.
use the
Tell your
data
name.
for the
Please
marketing
tell your
purpose.
name first.
This is Gopi Reddy here again.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these insights can be useful for marketing campaigns.
Okay.
And my name is
How
Rohan.
it will be important? No, 1 minute. Gopi, how it will be important?
Maybe we can the business can decide based on their the engagement data, right? Let's say, for example, if we have sent a couple of emails, okay,
Mhm.
and we don't know which are the emails got opened or clicked
Mhm.
by the users, right? So we can segregate them as a one segment, so that we can send the same segment to the marketing. Then from marketing side, they may send some promotional emails, right, for those who opened or clicked. And also, if there is any something related to engagement data, like sales order data, if there is any sales order data,
Mhm.
like I think they can be useful in a such a way that they can create the segments, right, based on the brand, or maybe like based on the brand or product. So what is the sales happened in the last 90 days, or who are not uh, made any purchase? So those we can find out, and we can send them to the business for any marketing campaigns.
Right, right. Nice, Gopi. Nice. Yeah, what you said is correct. Yeah, based on Marketing Cloud, you have explained it. Amazing. Yeah, Rohan, go ahead.
To become more and more relevant, uh, uh, to send that content as let it be related to sales or marketing. And after doing the analytics, one can know what would be the right time to cater the contacts or the persons. And return on investment is a major part of this analytics to improve the return on investment in the of the company.
Yeah, yeah. In overall, you can say, the KPIs, the key performance indicators, those things can be improved. Actually, that's something which drives the complete sales, okay, of any company. So great. Anybody else would like to give a try before we proceed? Okay, so whoever have told, they have actually told in terms of Salesforce. Amazing. Picking up some specific cloud, and I have explained. So broadly, this is why we need the data analytics actually, because the data is everywhere. People use data every day, whether they realize it or not. Okay, simple thing like wearing any t-shirt, or making coffee, or tracking your steps with a fitness tracker, all things require data. At the end of the day, why we do certain things, why we walk for certain hours to reduce our weight. So all those needs to be tracked. If you don't get the result, then what's the purpose? So anything which we do, it has to produce some result. For that, we have to analyze like how things have been going, and let's say results are not getting produced, for what reason it's not getting produced, and that is where data comes into picture. Okay, so major goal for data analysis is to increase efficiency and improve performance by discovering patterns in data. As somebody here, I think two people already gave classic examples, right? So that is the work of a data analyst, to work it throughout the data analyst pipeline. Okay, so data analyst helps individual organization make sense of the data. So what data are there, why certain things are lagging, where certain things needs to be improved, all those things we can analyze properly. Okay, that's what the work of a data analyst is. Now, what is the importance of data visualization? Okay, why we need to visualize the data? Let's say you have some complex data. To identify the patterns and extracting valuable insights, we need data visualization. If we want to simplify complex information and present it visually, it enables decision makers to make informed decision. Okay. Also, we are the generation where we love to know stories or mysteries. So we all love to watch movies. Of course, unless you are completely into book reading, or you're an avid book reader, you will love to read novels. But usually, in general, people love to watch movies rather than analyzing the same story through storybooks. Okay, so basically, if there's a small organization and the data are less, then definitely you can easily analyze it. But when it comes to analyzing huge data, right, let's say there's a company which is running in several continents. So the upper management team, if they need to analyze it all, let's say if you all are working in certain organization, fine, any big MNCs, then they are employees who are there. Okay, so for all of them, it's always um, a necessary step for the upper management team to actually visualize the data. So for that, we need the data visualization. Okay, so there are many data visualization tool, and the Salesforce CRM is one of them. Okay, I think you all are completely aware of Salesforce, but there was, I think, one person who didn't knew much, or I think he has heard about this term but didn't delve into, which is fine. But just let me walk you through what is this Salesforce about. It's a cloud-based CRM software. Customer relationship management is a technology for managing all your company's relationship and interaction with customers and potential customers. The goal is simple: to improve business relation, to grow your business. A CRM system helps companies stay connected to customers, streamline process, and improve profitability. So it's a cloud-based CRM software, just like you have the Gmail, right? You can log into Gmail from anywhere. Like, I'm just saying this in case you are completely a rookie to Salesforce, completely new. So just like we have the Gmail, it's a cloud storage, and we can access it from anywhere in the world. We just need an internet connection. Similar is this Salesforce as well. It's a CRM software, cloud based, and you can access it from anywhere in the world. It's just that you need an internet connection. Okay, so why we require Salesforce CRM analytics? As we mentioned that since the data are growing larger and larger in number, organization require efficient tool to analyze data in system and keep them safe. With large data, one cannot risk making assumptions. So one need to properly analyze the data and ensure that proper data are getting presented. So in that sense, Salesforce analytics get quick answers to your business question based on predictive analytics powered by AI. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why we require Salesforce CRM analytics, or popularly this is known as Salesforce Einstein. So whenever I say Salesforce CRM analytics, it means Salesforce Einstein analytics only. Okay, it also means Salesforce Tableau CRM. So you can call any name. It's just that the names got rebranded, but all tools are same. Currently it's known as Salesforce CRM. Very popular, it's known as Salesforce Einstein. Okay, so benefits of Salesforce CRM to sales team members. So the sales executive can monitor the key sales KPIs in real time and quickly pivot their strategy to grow sales and revenues. That's how it's beneficial. For sales manager, they get the full overview of the team performance. So ones who are managing a team, they will get to see how each sales reps are performing, and then based on that, they can actually give them performance bonus, or they can help them to rise in the organization. Sales rep can track their own activities. As an employee, you can track your own activities and prioritize the right opportunities to win deals faster. Let's say there's a lot of sales rep has to go to a number of people. Okay, so which are the people who can actually help them benefit to get their sales in a quick manner? In that sense, it can help. And sales operation customize and build dashboard to get a 360 view of the sales pipeline. So what is the approach in which Salesforce CRM work? Fine. So it works based on the ETLT approach. Okay. And the meaning of ETLT is extract, transform, load, and again transform if required. Fine. So extract It happens via data sync or connect. I will quickly show you, so don't worry in case you are not aware of this term. I know that you won't be aware of this term like data sync or connect, data layer. We will walk through this in the further slides. Okay, and transform happens in data layer. Okay, and load happens in design layer. So I will come back to this slide once again, but I will show you practically. Okay, now see, as I was talking the importance of this tool. Okay, so see, these are all opportunity records. I hope you all know about opportunity. So what I did, I have collected opportunity records. As you can see here, ID, name, amount, expected revenue, close date, stage name, type, lead source, and I just populated in an Excel sheet. Okay, now let's say if I want to see the closed opportunity records in Excel, then I have to use this filter, right? Stage name, and I can put it as closed one, closed clause, then I will get to see all the closed opportunities. Okay, so this is the way a data analyst can analyze in an Excel sheet. Now this particular thing, opportunity records, which you view in Excel, okay, the same thing, imagine if you view it in this view. Okay, so that part which I was viewing in an Excel sheet, the same thing, I didn't apply any extra fields. All the fields which you had seen in that Excel, the same thing you can see over here also. But you see how this is visually appealing, right? So you can filter based on name, stage, opportunity type, lead source, and it will show you the proper data. Like in the first widget is showing the sum of amount for each name, in the second is showing sum of amount for each stage. Okay, here it is showing sum of amount, right, for each opportunity type. Here it is showing sum of amount for lead source. Okay, and here it is showing the complete table, right? And also, if you want to filter out, let's say I put a filter of closed one, closed loss, I want to see the closed opportunities, all these widgets are getting changed as well. So this is visually more appealing, and that's what we discuss. So data visualization is very important nowadays, and this is one of the tool which helps you to do that. Okay, instead of analyzing in that Excel sheet with large amount of data, it doesn't work out. It becomes too difficult for anyone to analyze, and especially the upper management team will always prefer this view, right, instead of analyzing over there. Okay, now this thing, since you all are aware of Salesforce mostly, so these things we also can do on Salesforce reports and dashboard, right? But there are certain limitations. Okay, these are some of the limitations which are there. Like if you want to use more than 5 formula fields, you can't do that. Okay, have more than 100 source report, want to use more than 4 related objects in a report, need more than 20 field filters. So all these limitations which you see, it get bypassed in Salesforce CRM-Analytics. Fine, you won't get to see. As well as in Salesforce CRM-Analytics, you can pull data from external sources, something which you can't do over here in standard Salesforce reports and dashboard. Okay, so of course, as we walk through, you will get to know many more advantage. But yeah, in case you are having this question that if we have Salesforce reports, why we need that, this is one of the answers, and definitely there are many more you can do. So what are the benefits of Tableau CRM or Salesforce CRM-Analytics? Okay, it's one and the same. So this Salesforce CRM-Analytics, you can improve. You can have an improved and accurate reporting. You can have valuable business insights, competitive analysis, better data quality. You can identify the market trends, important trends, identify problem. Performance business attention can be viewed visually using dashboard, as I was showing you, awareness of customer habit and increase customer satisfaction. Fine. So there are 3 layers which we deal within Salesforce CRM-Analytics. Okay. So the first part is the data layer, the second is the design, and third one is the intelligent layer. So, and the different types of data which we deal in are dimension, measures, and date. Okay, so dimension is a qualitative value that usually contains categorical information such as product category, opportunity stage. Fine. And measures are quantitative value that contains numerical data, and date refers to all values including date, time. Okay, so components of Salesforce CRM-Analytics, there are mainly 7 main components. Fine. So these are the components, and let me quickly walk you through this one. So this is my Salesforce CRM-Analytics org. Fine. And once you go to this app launcher, right, so you can click on this Analytics Studio. Okay, so once you click on Analytics Studio, and if you go to this data manager, so this is the modern view which we have for this data manager. And if you click on this manage data flow, this is the old version, this is the new version which we have, and this is the old version. Okay, so as I was talking about this one, right, so you have 7 main components. The first one is the connect or sync layer, right? So this is your connect or sync layer. Okay, so as you can see here, this is my local SFDC org. Okay. And these are the orgs which I connected externally. So for the externals, if I connected some external Salesforce org, these are the orgs which I see over here. Okay. So this is your sync, which is basically a table which pulls in all the records. So whatever records I have, right, all those records gets pulled in on this particular sync or the table, right, and it gets stored over here. For example, if I click over here, okay, and if I click on continue, so this, it's pulling all the relevant fields which I want to pull in this particular database. Fine. You can always give a filter as well. Okay. Now the second part is the app. So here, if I go to browse section, if I go to apps, so these are my apps. Basically these are nothing but your folders, and whatever data sets or dashboard you are saving, it gets saved in this particular folders. Okay. For example, if I click on recipe data, these are the things, data set and lenses, which are stored over here, right? The next part is the data flow recipe. So that data flow recipe is something which happens over here. Okay, so this is the complete recipe and data flow. Data flow is going to get extinct, but yeah, you have the recipes as well. This is the data layer actually. So as I was talking about earlier, right, and I told you I will revert back to that part, approach in which Salesforce Analytics work. So the first part is the extract part, right? So the extract part is something which happens in the connect tab. So this is where you extract the data. For example, SFDC local means all the data which are there in my Salesforce Analytics org. So all the data gets pulled in. Okay. The next part comes is nothing but the transform, and the transform happens in data layer. For example, if I open any one of the data, right? Let's say I open this one. Okay, so this is the data layer, and this is where the transformation of data take place. Okay, so for example, I brought in account. If I wanted to make certain transformation, I can do that. If I want to add certain fields, and then I can simply register it. Okay, and then comes the loading part. Okay, so once I register it, for example, the name given is account dashboard, right, over here. So now if I just go to this data sets, and if I just search for account dashboard, okay, so this is where the loading part comes into picture. See, these are the count of rows, and let's say I want to see how many industries and everything are there, I can easily see that. Okay, so these are the count of industries I have, and let's say I sort it by descending order, I can check it. For example, energy, apparel, banking. Let me pull in this industry. Okay, so others I have maximum counts. Then I have for energy, apparel, banking, technology, insurance. Okay, so this is how the count is there. Now if I want to do, we can also do summation and all, but I think we didn't pull in the amount, that's why it's not showing here. Okay, so basically that's the thing. Like we can extract, as I was talking, via data sync connect, then we can transform, and then we can simply load it. Okay, so these are the components. Then you have the data set. So this is the data set which I'm showing, and once I save this data set, right, it gets saved as a lens. The next part is the lens, and then comes the dashboard. Okay, so for example, let's say I open any one of the dashboard. So this is the complete dashboard. This is the screenshot which I showed in my PPT as well. Okay, so here you get to see the complete view. For example, if I want to go for let's say closed won and closed loss, I just renamed that to opportunity won and opportunity loss. All this chart gets filtered, and I will be able to see the complete data. I will be able to see the opportunity ID, the name. Okay, and if I want, I can also directly open this thing. So if I want to open this opportunity, let's say, and if I want to analyze, it will redirect me to the Salesforce record, and I can further analyze as well. Okay, so this is the way we can view it. Okay, and let's say if I want to see the top 10 top 20 opportunities, okay, I can see that over here. If I want to see the top 20, okay, I will see the top 20. If I want to see top 30, I will see the top 30. And let's say stage, I have complete 2 right now because I applied this filter. Let's say if I go for all again, okay, and let's say I want to see the top stages. Fine, this is the top 2, and if I want to see top 5, I will get to see top 5. If I want to see top 10, I will get to see all the stages. Okay, so this is how the dashboard works. So this is one of the components again. And then we have the stories. If I want to analyze the stories and all, Okay, that comes under the intelligent layer. So we talked about 3 layers, right? So the first is the data layer, which I was showing you, right? Data layer is something which happens either on the recipe, which I showed you, or data flow. Then is the design layer, which is nothing but your data set, lens, and the dashboard, which I just now showed. And intelligent layer is nothing but if you want to create certain stories and all, you can do it on the intelligent layer, right? So basically, those are models. Fine. We will check it once. So yeah, these are the main things we deal with. So these are the terminologies. I have just written the basic definition. App is nothing which I showed you, is a collection of data set, lens, dashboard related to business purpose. Data sync is the process for establishing a sync. So whatever is the data I'm collecting from the data source analytics, that's the process which I follow. Then recipe is a friendly UI tool for creating and preparing clean data. Okay, then we have the data set, which contains a set of source data. Lens is nothing but used to explore the data set. And the CRM's dashboard contains widget, lenses, charts. We can use a dashboard designer to design dashboards. Okay, and this is how the Salesforce journey had been in acquiring this Salesforce Einstein Analytics. Okay, in 2020 it got rebranded to Tableau CRM. Currently it's known as Salesforce CRM Analytics, and very popular it was known as Salesforce Einstein Analytics back in 2017. Okay, and it got started in 2014 as Wave Analytics. Okay, so as and when things got acquired, it had rebranded its name. Okay, and this is where the future of Tableau CRM, or Salesforce CRM, it is whatever you call it, lies. Fine, since it acquired Tableau, like as I was showing you in the previous slide, way back in 2020, it has a lot to explore. It wants to go to AI or ML. It wants to visualize, analyze, and data explore. It wants to provide self-service data prep and data management. Okay, it wants to establish the connectivity. Okay, so this is what the future holds, and we can easily set up a free Salesforce CRM Analytics org. If you just have this link, you can easily set up just like I did. Okay, so let me just walk you through one way. I will just explain you the whole process of how we have pulled in the data. Okay, but any question or confusion up till here before I walk you through one very short demo to explain you how this whole connect, and how the data sync, and how we bring data over there, and how it's being presented on the dashboard. I think somebody has written something in the chat. Okay, no, sorry. Yeah, please unmute and ask if you have any question till now.
So if there is any external data we wanted to connect, is that possible?
Yeah, of course. So basically, if you go to this connect, right, so this is my local data, but I have connected some Salesforce external log. If you see, right, these are all my Salesforce external log which I connected. Okay, and if you go to this connect to data, right, so if you go to this connect to data, you will get to see all the connection. If I click on add connection, you can have the Redshift connector. Okay, you can connect Salesforce Marketing Cloud, you can connect SQL. Okay, you can connect Azure, right? You just need to give the credentials. You need to give the proper credentials: SAP HANA, Google Cloud Spanner. Okay, and then again, if you go for MuleSoft, you can connect MuleSoft as well. Okay, you can have live connection as well. You can get the live connection of Google BigQuery and Snowflake. So yeah, there are different
So any
mixture.
API also is available? API?
Sorry,
API.
see, this is a free org actually, but yeah, it is available. Like once you purchase that license, there's a way to establish. So these are some of the samples which have been shown, but yeah, you can connect. It's just that you have to give the proper credentials, nothing else. Okay, yeah, anybody else?
And is there any technically involved anything like query, we need to write a query for calculations or measures, or it's only drag and drop functionalities?
I didn't get you. Come again.
No, what I'm trying to ask is, so that CRM analytics completely is a configuration part, or is there any involvement of SQL or maybe some other programming too?
So it's mainly configuration only, but the thing is that there's some advanced concept. For example, let's say I've opened this. Okay, so if you go to this query mode, this is completely known as Salesforce SQL. Okay, SQL means Salesforce Analytics Query Language. Okay, so you can play around with this. Sometimes, let's say if there's some complex requirement, then we have to do certain kind of coding over here. So this is the main coding. And then for dashboard, let's say for building this kind of dashboard, there's a concept of binding which is involved. Okay, so for that you need to write a little bit of code. For example, here, such particular bindings, we have to write a bit
So
of code, or
JSON
it can
format.
be done in JSON format. Yeah, and this one is in SQL format, similar to SQL only. It's just that it's a different format over here. So we have to do certain kind of changes, when there's a little bit of complex requirement. But otherwise, mainly it's configuration. It's mainly drag and drop stuff. Yeah.
So is this a
And over here also the data
predefined
layer.
structure?
Another data layer, sometimes, let's say if we have to create some derived fields, in that case, you have to write the coding language in this manner. So that is one thing we have to do. Yeah.
Okay. So that SQL is a predefined structure. We need to follow as is, or we can just, is there any limitation?
There's no limitation. If things are required, we have to do certain manipulation. Yeah. Anybody else?
This Tableau means this analytics is completely different, or means in Salesforce it is completely different, like Sales Service Cloud, or it is an additional kind of analytics which is in, means we can use this in like Salesforce Marketing Cloud or as well, or it is a separate different kind of domain.
Yeah, actually, it's a separate domain. You need to purchase. This is a license. You need to purchase this license. Okay, so once you purchase the license, you can actually view the Analytics Studio. Okay.
We have free also, right? Free to practice.
Free org we have, it's for learning purpose. Like what are the features and all. But when you are like using it in real time scenarios, this needs to be purchased so that you can access all the proper features of this tool.
Okay.
Yeah, hi. Is there any let's say if we have a practice Salesforce admin and development in Trailhead. So same thing. Can we have a already loaded objects in this for this one?
Yeah, objects are loaded over here as I was showing you in the connect. So these are
Yeah, I
the
just
objects.
joined late. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So these are the objects. Anyhow, I will show you one demo where I will pull in certain records. I will show you how many records we have. That I will show you. So after answering your questions and all, I will show you one short demo actually how this ETLT approach works.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else? Go ahead.
And currently the market requirement for this now is
Yeah.
career
Currently,
related, what exactly?
so if
There.
you want to become a data analyst, this is one of the perfect tool to learn. Okay. So
Okay.
Salesforce anyhow is always in demand, but let's say if you want to become a data analyst, a data scientist, so this is something you can actually come and explore further. Okay. So basically this is a tool to analyze the data and make any kind of requirements as per the clients, and then you need to visually represent the data, right? So if you have that intention to become a data analyst, and if you want to grow your career over there, or let's say if you want to add it as an additional skill, so yeah, this is one of the great thing to learn. Markets currently, of course, it's down everywhere, but definitely it has a lot of potential, it has a lot of scope. So if you keep this skill in handy, I think it will definitely benefit you a lot in future.
And is this actually, let's say if we got this knowledge, so all the Salesforce converting using these dashboards, or what? How the future will be with Salesforce with this one, Tableau CRM, Salesforce Tableau CRM?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Come again.
Let's say if we learn this one, so this CRM, I mean, this one is like Tableau CRM, right? So say whatever Salesforce applications, definitely they need to use, or they have any alternate?
So it depends upon the purpose. I mean, this is a complete different thing. So basically, this tool is used to analyze the data. So if your intention is to analyze the data of Salesforce, or let's say if you want to analyze the data of any other, from any other cloud, as I've shown, you can connect to any external cloud as well. Okay. For that thing, we have to use this because we currently have the Salesforce standard, but as I showed you in one of the slides, that has certain limitation. And when you want to analyze the data from other data sources also, you can't easily pull that in. But yeah, with Salesforce CRM analytics, you can easily do that, as I showed you, right? So for that reason, we can use this tool. So if you want to analyze the data, and if you want to have a visual representation and check.
It is not particular to only for Salesforce. It is to, we can use for other technologies also. Is that correct?
See, this is a part of Salesforce only. What I mean to say is you can analyze other data. So as I showed you, right, you can connect to data, other data, but this product you have to purchase via
From
Salesforce.
Salesforce.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Got it. Okay.
So somebody named Not Study is asking, why is it ETL and T? What's the significance of T after loading? So yeah, that's a good question. So basically any analytics works on ETL, but we have this extra T. Fine. So why I added this extra T? Where is it? Yeah. So basically, you can further transform the data. For example, this is the loading part, right? This is where the loading take place. Okay. But if I want to further transform the data over here, I can put filters, right? For example, let's say if I want to see certain filters over here, okay, I can apply the filter. Okay. And also, if I want to do furthermore calculation, let's say, okay, for example, let's say I click on clone column. Okay. So the first count, let's say I want to give a filter. I'm adding a filter in that count of rows. Let's say I'm adding a filter of billing country, or let me go for some other stuff. Let's say go for account type as customer direct and customer channel. Okay. 1 minute. So the first one is applied a filter, and here it is no filter has been applied, and there's a direct filter also which I applied. Okay. And if I want to do furthermore calculation, so I can just click on edit this column. Okay. And if I click on this plus, okay, let's say I want to add this 2 rows. I'm just giving a very simple example. If I want to add this 2 rows, okay, I can simply give it as B plus C. Okay. Fine. You see, I just added this 2 rows. So these are further transformation which you can do after loading also. So that's why I've applied that further T as well later on. And of course, you can do further things on the SQL mode as well. Okay. So that's the purpose of adding that extra T, nothing else. Okay. So even after loading, if you want to do further more transformation, you can do that. Same comes in dashboard as well. Okay. Like here, I'm able to see the top 10, top 30, top 2, top 5, top 10. Okay. And based on bindings, I can do further more transformation, right? So that's why I've written that extra T. Yeah, good question. Okay. Your name is highlighting as North Star. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, yeah, Venkatesh, not an issue. I will just show one quick demo. Okay. For maybe I will take 5 to 10 minutes more.
Just one question from me. So how difficult to handle this tool? Is it easy? Like how the requirements will be like most of the requirements will be based on the configurations, or do we need to do some SQL or JSON, something is there, right, technically? So,
Mhm.
so how it will be like, it will be very difficult, or we can easy to learn and we can do that apart from the connectivity.
See, the thing is that even if it's difficult, that is why you're attending this course, right? So mainly it's configuration, but on the data layer, let's say if you want to make some changes, if you have to add some data fields, for that you need to know certain syntax, okay, how to write those things, fine. And other than that, if you want to show the top 5, top 10, or depending on the requirements, how things wants to be showcased, so that you have to do. So once you're in this course, mostly all the real-time scenarios will be covered, because I have some experience on this particular tool and I worked on a couple of projects as well. Okay, so definitely I will share you all my knowledge. And mainly, if you want to know like how difficult it can be, sometimes certain scenarios comes up where you have to add certain data fields or make certain changes in SQL, or let's say you have to perform certain kind of bindings. So those are some of the difficult parts, but other than that, it's mainly configuration. Okay, so if you're building something, but the client may not be happy, the client may come up with more scenarios. In that case, you have to apply your brain and see how things can be done. But most of the things you have to do it over here on the data layer, and then on the dashboard side.
Okay. Okay. So is there any sample use cases will you provide? Okay, sorry, I think you are going to take demo, right? In that area.
Sample, yeah, I will quickly show you this. Anybody else has further question? Whatever I've covered till now, anybody else has question before I quickly show you that what certification can one take? You can go for Salesforce CRM certification. Okay? Salesforce Einstein Analytics and Discovery Consultant. That's the certification name. You can go for that. Anybody else? Okay, cool. I will quickly show you, like, how we pull in the records, huh? Like, what is that basic thing which we usually do? Okay. Let's say I want to pull in the opportunity records. Okay. So this is my Salesforce org, and I think if you know a little bit of SOQL, that is Salesforce org query language. This is the tool I'm using to query. This is my developer console. So I'm querying the number of records I have in my opportunity. For example, it is showing me 777 records of opportunity. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, always remember, Salesforce CRM does not work on real-time data. It works close to real-time data. What I mean by that, let's say if you create certain opportunity records, immediately that won't get reflected. Okay, so you have to run this sync. This is something known as sync. If you don't run the sync, you won't be able to pull in the real-time data. We can make it close to real-time by scheduling it. So you have the option of scheduling, but yeah, definitely in upcoming release, even now they have started to bring the real data as well. Like you can directly connect the Salesforce object, which I will show you. But yeah, ideally, this is the way we usually pull in the records. So when you're pulling from external records, you have to ensure that you run the sync. If you don't run the sync, you will not get the real-time data. If it is in your Salesforce local, there's still a possibility, which I will show you. You can directly connect with Salesforce objects, but with other external tool, you have to ensure you run the sync. So the first step is I will run the sync. Okay. So this is my monitor where I will get to see how the sync performed, or how some data layer is running. I will quickly show you, don't worry. So this is the first step. Okay, I ran the sync. The next part is I will create one data layer, that is a recipe. Fine. And what I will do, I will go to this add input data. and I will search for opportunity. Okay. So I have this opportunity, okay, from my SFDC local, okay, and let's say I pull in certain field, let's say ID, fine, name, I pull in stage name, I pull in amount, and I pull in type and close date, okay. So these are the fields which I want to see, for example. Now click on next. So I have just added one input node which is bringing me all the opportunity records after the sync. Then the next part is I will just write it to dataset. Okay, let me name it here. Let me write here, sorry. So I've created one input and I've created one output. Now let me just click on save and run. Okay. Once I click on save, again I will just go to this monitor. Okay. And as you can see, it's running currently. So as you can see, this ran successfully. The next part, what I will do, I will open this data set. So this is the data set display level. Okay. Now I will just come over here and I will just search for this data set. And once I open this, so as you have seen here, I have total of 777 records. Okay. And that's exactly 1 minute. That's exactly what is being shown over here. So I have 777 records, right? And of course, you can further classify and check. For example, if I want to see, let's say stage, okay. So these are the stage. As you can see, I have closed lost 152, right? So you can easily verify from here. For example, let's say I select ID, comma, stage. As you can see here, I have 152 records, and that is what getting highlighted over here. So you can similarly check for other records and you can analyze. So this is how we bring the data. Okay. And you can further check it over here. If you want to check the opportunity type, you can further view it in this way. So different kind of charts also which we have depending upon how you want to analyze. There are some suggestion also given by Einstein, like how best representation can be done. Okay. For example, if I have this stage and opportunity type, it will show you like this is one of the way you can represent. Fine. You can represent in this way. You can represent in this way as well. Okay. This is another way to represent. So there are different kind of charts which we have. We have the bar charts, we have the line chart, date and times, gauge, circle and dots. So depending upon the requirement, we kind of give it a visual representation for different stuffs. and that way you can do it. So as I was talking about the ETLT approach, and these are the layers which you have. So firstly, I just brought in the data via this data connect or sync, and the next part which I did was the data layer. You have many more nodes over here. For example, you have this transform node which helps to create certain derived fields. You can filter it out over here as well if you want to put it in aggregate mode. So what is this aggregation means? For example, I want to see the sum of amount, okay, for stage and opportunity type. You can do that in the data layer itself, okay. If you want to, if you are bringing some other data from other logs, and if you want to, combine those, let's say you can go for joint, you can go for append, and let's say if you want to see, like, for one account how many opportunities, that for one account you can have many opportunities, right? So if you want to see those kind of relations, like one account has how many opportunities, so in that case we go for this joint type. Okay, there are different kind of joint types. Fine, we will walk through it, okay, as you come to this course. So yeah, there are several nodes which you have. Fine, so this is just an input and a simple output node which I have shown, okay. And definitely after that you come to this designer layer, where if you want you can see it on as a values table, you can see it in table format as well. I showed you in chart format, okay. And you can perform certain kind of calculation also, which I showed you earlier, okay. And you can apply the filters as well, you can apply different colors, and finally you can create a dashboard with this particular thing. So now I have this particular data set named, right, SV Tech Demo. So if I go to this analytics and if I just simply click on this dashboard, yeah, if I click on create blank dashboard, so firstly I will just put a text over here. Fine, let's say put the text as and now let's say I apply certain kind of filters over here. Okay, yeah, please mute yourself. Give me a minute, certain thing is not working, it seems. So let's say I take this particular data set and I go for, I just want to see the stages, okay. And let's say I want to create one more. So now if I click on preview, okay, so this is one simple dashboard which I've built. This is the filter. For example, I want to see my closed phone. Okay, it will highlight all the closed phone. So as you can see, there are 423 records, and for closed phone these are the different opportunity type which I have. Okay, and if I can return to initial view, if I go for type, let's say existing business, you see it's highlighting the existing business. And based on existing business, what are the stages I have? For example, in closed one I have 68 records of this particular type, existing business. Okay, so then we build the dashboard. These are the different kind of widgets we will utilize this and build the dashboard as well. Okay, So this is the whole process. I've just built a very simple dashboard, but yeah, as I was showing you, we can build the dashboard in this manner as well. Yeah, which I'll be showing you. There are a lot of things which are involved, but ideally this is the way it works out. Of course, after this, so after this filter, you usually add the KPI. Okay, so we go for this number. So let's say I want to see the count. And let's say I want to see the sum of amount. So if I click on preview, let's say for closed one, these are the total counts I have, and these are the sum of amount for closed one opportunities. Let's say if I go for closed lost, so these are the total counts and these are the sum of amount, and these are the opportunity type which I have for this type of closed loss stage. Okay, so this is how it works. We pull in the data, that is extract, okay, in the sync, and then we kind of do manipulation, that is transform. The transformation part we do on the data layer, and then finally we present it, that is the loading part, okay, which is done via this dataset or dashboard. And this is the complete whole thing you're going to learn. And of course there are many advanced concepts which you will get to need, but this is the whole thing about Salesforce CRM-atics. Okay, yeah, anybody has any question? Any further question? Good evening, I am from non-IT, and is it required to learn any coding? At present I am completed my admin course and started learning coding. How it will help me to join this course? Definitely, if you know admin, that's a bonus point. So just learn a little bit about Salesforce Sales Cloud, that will be helpful. And just you're from non-IT, that's completely fine. Just know about these objects. Okay, so for example, 1 minute. You have all these objects, right? Opportunities, you have accounts, okay, you have contacts, okay. So just know what are all these things. So accounts, we mainly represent the organization data. We represent the individual employees who are working in organization through via contacts, okay. Then what are leads, opportunities? So a little bit of basic stuff. What are the objects, and how that helps, since you know admin. I hope you know this. That itself is enough. And what are the relationship? Like one account has many opportunities. What is one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship? All those things, if you know, that is fine, I think. Then you can easily join. You don't need to know coding. Coding comes for Salesforce developers. That's the development part. That has nothing to do. And as I was showing you, to verify the data, you need to know a little bit of SOQL, which I will anyhow explain you when come to this course. So that is only required to verify the data. Other than that, there's no specific thing you need to know. Yeah. I hope you got your answer, Srinivas. Yeah, anybody else?
What are charges of this course?
Yeah, actually Kishore will provide you the link. Okay, you can go through that. And what is the course time to complete? It will take around 35 to 40 hours. So basically everything is mentioned in that link. Okay, I think Kishore will share you. See, actually Salesforce CRM-atics, okay, or Salesforce Einstein-atics, or Salesforce Tableau CRM, all the names are same as I was showing you in the slide, right? So the name got changed every time. Like way back in 2014, whatever I explained you, it was known as Salesforce Wave. And that time we didn't have recipe and all. We used to work on data flow. And in 2017, it was known as Salesforce Einstein-atics. When they acquired Tableau, it was known as Salesforce Tableau CRM. And currently it's known as Salesforce CRM-atics. So don't get confused. Salesforce CRM-atics, or Salesforce Einstein-atics, or Salesforce Tableau CRM, all are the same tool. Okay? Don't get confused. It is currently known as Salesforce CRM-atics, popularly known as Salesforce Einstein-atics. And in 2020, it was used to be known as Salesforce Tableau CRM. So everything is same. So it is the meaning is same Tableau CRM. Okay. Yeah, Kishore gave you the course content and how to enroll, and the charges and only will get over here only. Okay, and you will get to know the duration also. But yeah, it's usually it will take 35 to 40 hours to complete this whole course. Anybody else? Kishore will discuss. You can ping Kishore Adi, okay, to know about the timings and all. Fine.
Sorry. So yeah, is there any other timings for this one? I am not
Just contact Kishore. Okay, not an issue.
Kishore.
I
Okay.
also won't be able to provide. Yeah.
Sure, Avinash.
AI component. So Northstar is asking, AI component is nothing but the story part. Okay. For example, when I come to this data set, right, there's something called as create model. Okay. So for example, if I click on this create model, right, so what you want to predict, let's say you want to predict the occurrence. Okay. And let's say I save it in my this data set. So let's say if you want to get it automated, you can just click on this create model, and this is where the AI comes into picture. Okay. So Einstein is building your predictive model. It takes a little bit of time. Let's wait. So this is how the model gets built. Okay, you have seven rows, right? So you can see like what occurred the most, opportunity type null and amount, this one occurred the most. So Einstein is giving you a complete AI picture over here, right? What are the type which are there, when April occurred more often than closed. Okay, so you have to further analyze this. Okay, so this is where the complete analysis had been given by Einstein only. You don't have to do anything, you just have to give the requisite field by which you require to analyze. Okay, however, this is the AI part and discovery part. Okay, this is the stories which are created. So we mentioned three layers, right? This is the intelligent layer, right? We were talking about three layers, isn't it? So I showed you the data layer, which is the recipe part. The design layer is nothing but your data set or dashboard. This is the intelligent layer, which I showed you just now. Okay, but this course will mainly cover the analytics portion. Okay, I will definitely give you a overview of the AI capabilities as well. But AI is a complete different course in itself, and it requires a lot of things as well to learn. This course will mainly focus on the analytics part, that is this two portion, that is the data layer and designer layer, and I will give you some overview of how this intelligent layer works. Okay, but this is mainly the analytics portion, okay, which this course will cover, not much on the AI part. Okay, AI is a different topic altogether. Okay, is any timing any help? Sorry, what is this AI component? So I hope that answered your question. Where is the AI component I showed you just now? Any help to get the job and document preparation from your end? Document preparation, definitely I will give you certain documents which will help you. Okay. What else is there? Any timing? Any job assistance will be there. See, definitely, I will give you some tricks and tips of how you can apply for Salesforce analytics job. There's no direct help we can give, of course. A little bit of assistance I will share you my experience and how you can prepare your resume and everything. Anybody else has any further things to ask? Yeah, if nobody else has anything to ask, then I think we are good to close.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining today's session. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thank you all.